Hello, and welcome to the Awful and Awesome Entertainment Wrap. This is episode 290, and I'm Abhinandan Sekhri.
And I'm Nanika.
So, Nanika, welcome.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I've been busy, but I've been good. I actually had like a really bad throat infection. Like I couldn't speak at all last weekend. So I wasn't sure if I'd be able to record, but luckily it's all fine now.
Even Rajshri had a throat infection, but she could talk.
It takes a lot of commitment to be able to talk, I guess.
Yeah, but she's still recording.
But it's a strep throat going around. So all of you should try to be safe from that.
I see. Okay. So, we have a film, we have 2 series, we have a music video, and I have some commentary. So should we start with that? Because I really want to ask you.
Please go ahead.
So basically, this is, last week or week before last was Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And I was watching, and when Rajshri auntie and Abhinandan uncle recorded, you must have heard we were talking about the woke generation and your generation.
As always.
As always, we were just self-love and yevo. So I was seeing, I think it's a campaign on NDTV or something. Learn to love yourself or some shit like that. It is be your own Valentine. Like, what the does that even mean? So it was, have you forgiven yourself? Do you love yourself? Answer these questions. And I was watching this and I was like, who's the same dad? Clearly it's aimed at the Zoomers. Do you agree with me, first of all? Because I just thought, because we just spoke about it last week or week before last, Rajshri and I.
Right, that this generation needs all of that conversation about self-love happening, and these are the only target audience for this?
No, it just, I don't know. I didn't give that much thought, but it was that because we reviewed that song, which is a very nice song actually by Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Which was
flowers for myself and
that I can and I was like, every song is about that. And back in our day, all the songs are pining for you. I crave your touch, I hunger for your touch, kind of thing. But and I saw this campaign, so I just kind of was wondering.
See, I also do not like this whole spiel around self-love. I think it's like we're living in deeply unsexy times where every conversation about love has to be how you should forgive yourself. No, you should not forgive yourself. Not forgiving yourself creates the energy inside you to do like really weird things. So you should continue to like roam in self-loathing, I guess. But
more than forgive yourself, I have yet to meet a Zoomer who first blames themselves. Forgiveness.
No, I feel like I know a lot of Zoomers who blame themselves, but it's also just like, blame themselves in a way that's just like, there's no productive end of it. Like you're blaming yourself, cool, but where are we going with this? So which is, I'm saying I tend to do it as myself as well, feeling sorry for yourself is really comfortable, but not like we should try not to fall trapped to that.
I see. I have, I won't say I watched both the series in full, but I'll talk about the series, but I didn't watch the film.
Okay.
Did you?
I did.
So it's called Magic Mike Last Dance.
Yes.
The 2 series, we'll talk about Class and Alaska Daily. A music video with Kapil Sharma and Guru Randhawa that I have lots to say about. So let's start with Class, shall we?
Yes, sure.
So my input on this will be very brief.
Okay, because how many episodes have you watched?
I watched about 10 minutes with great difficulty. And I just could not
tolerate it.
Oh dear God. And again, maybe I'm not the target audience.
Fair, absolutely.
I'm, almost 50 and this is about school kids. So it's, but the characters was so, hey, tu gareeb hai, hey, I'm rich. I mean, like even if you have to show people being unfair, like that is how bad dialogue in the 70s used to do it, yeah. In 2023, and just that's all. Like I saw about, I think, 10 to 12 minutes. That's all that there was. There was nothing else. I mean, there was no other point being made. And the typical thing, the girl is sympathetic to the poor guy. Her brother says, how dare you? Like I've seen this in Archie comic. I've seen this in, in those really C-grade films. What's it called? Where like Halloween type, this pizza delivery guy goes and he delivers a pizza and, and she likes him. She wants to go on a date with him, but his friends come and, Predator versus Alien.
Oh, okay.
In that same thing that, she's, stop picking on him. Oh, you deliver pizza. We are rich. We are asking you to deliver pizza to us. Like, so I just couldn't watch it. And the other thing is that this guy who was sitting in shock because of that murder, in 2 cuts.
Right.
Third cut, less than 4 minutes later,
Right.
he's talking to them like he's
Their best friend.
yeah, and like it's some sort of a you know
Talk show.
yeah,
Preach.
nostalgic retelling of his life. फिर ऐसे हुआ, फिर वो ऐसे थे. अभी तो you were not being able to like even. So I just couldn't. I tried.
Okay. I watched about like I also couldn't watch the whole thing. I know that it's based on that Spanish series. I think it's called Elite or something, and it's like a recreation of that. I watched about 3.5, maybe 4 episodes or some such. The story is, I mean, yeah, it's all copied, so there's nothing new to it. They added an angle of the fact that these kids exist in Delhi, but I'm not sure whether they've done a very good job of conveying it. I think it's the fact that the dialogue is a little heavy-handed because they have to be heavy-handed to sort of put across the class divide and the class inequalities. As for the story, etc., I mean, it's decent enough. It's not terrible. If you are the target audience for it, you will enjoy it. But I feel like the larger conversation sort of revolves around, just like class anxiety in general. There is a certain, even if you're like a fairly confident person who doesn't have a problem with, moving through social ranks or whatever, there is just like, I feel like the anxiety is very latent sometimes in people where it's like, it's not as insane as they show it in this particular TV show where the guy is constantly like, they're a little anxious and they're a little quiet because they know that their classmates are richer. I think the anxiety like pervades in slightly different ways where you sort of, even though you're accepted, you feel out of place, or you're sort of aware of the fact that maybe you don't get along with these people as much.
Yeah, but
so I feel like
I'm just wondering, even, I mean, of course, class divides exist and people are extremely cruel, but is that how they are cruel? Like,
no, that's the point. That portrayal is
like,
a little...
let's say there's a class with 20
See, the portrayal
people.
is very, very heavy-handed. I feel like people who come from wealth may not probably be as cruel as whatever the kids in this TV show are, but their cruelty is more like, it's more backhanded. Like it's more...
Yeah, exactly. No,
it's
it
just
has
done
to be
in very
creative.
subtle ways.
It has
done
to be,
in ways so
it
subtle.
Can't be, ho tu garib hai ha. Like,
yeah,
no one talks like that.
Exactly. It's done in ways so subtle that you wouldn't even realize that it hit you when it does. And it's very pervasive. It's different. It's not how it is in this show. They've dealt with the topic of caste with, like, they've tried to be, they're a little more open about it. It isn't like a hush-hush thing. Like, a lot of times when Bollywood movies try to be, like, easy on the palate, they're like, this guy comes from a poor family, this guy comes from a rich family. They don't really mention that this poor guy comes from also a lower
with that. In fact, that's, I quite like that. It was impressive that, Valmiki Samaj ka tu kaise ja raha hai?
Exactly. So they did not at least shy away from mentioning that it's not just about the fact that they come from different economic classes. It's also about the fact that there is a caste difference. There's an explicit caste difference here.
So now why don't you tell us about Alone? Okay, I will say spoiler alert because although there is, I don't know.
The music video is a story. There is absolutely a spoiler.
So the story is that there is this one girl who...
Spoiler alert, you can skip if you don't want to hear the story. Watch it yourself.
Dude, no. Who Kapil Sharma, the host of this comedy show, he's trying to look very intense and sad throughout, and it's not possible.
Because you've seen him in a comic show?
No, yeah, like Ben Stiller can never look intense and serious.
Then you're not willing to suspend your belief.
I understand, but you have
disbelief. You have to do that.
The only person who's pulled that off is the guy who was the lead in the guy with the long nose, 40-year-old virgin, who's in The Office. The lead.
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell. When he's which role did he do? Where he's a serious. Where he's, I think, accused of inappropriate behavior. He's a network anchor. I mean, he's believable. I forget. No, we've reviewed on this. It's an Apple series, I think.
Okay, I'm not sure. I haven't watched it.
So now they've said that Kapil Sharma and Guru Randhawa will stand on top of this
mountain,
snow-capped mountain, and there'll be this
rotating
shot.
Drone.
And I guess halfway through the shoot, Kapil Sharma said, "Itne thand te bahut hai yaar." They said, "Tu fur coat pehle."
That fur coat was exquisite.
So he's wearing a fur coat.
Like, it's a fabulous one, by the way.
And looking intensely at this girl, and he's already sad. In the end, basically, he proposes to her.
No. You need to critically engage with. Who's the girl? Where did she come from? Like,
they don't explain.
But basically, there was a girl. He's in love with her, but he's just like weird feelings about it. Then at the end, he tries to propose to her.
How do you know they have weird feelings?
Because he just he had a weird face the whole time.
He was trying to act.
Well, yeah.
He was trying to look intense. You're calling it a weird face. Even I'm not that cruel. Anyway, so he's wearing this fur coat and he proposes to her. which in any case, any self-respecting girl with a guy wearing a fur coat should say no. But she says yes
Hey,
at that
if he has a
time.
fur coat, he has a lot of money. So maybe.
So she kind of says yes. And then he wakes up in the morning and she's written on the mirror, sorry, XOXO, and he's left alone. So it is a terrible song. It is a terrible music video.
Critically engage with it. Do you think Kapil Sharma is a good singer?
He's not a bad singer.
Okay. So at least we have that. What about
But
the song?
he's not enough to be a singer.
Okay, if you did not watch this music video, which is whatever, if you just heard the song, what would you think
Shit.
about it?
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. He's a good, it's like we all have aunts and uncles who are good singers.
Right.
But
They don't have the money to make
no. They are not good enough to cut an album.
I did not like the song. I thought the production was like, even the producing of the song was really bad. Like the beats mixed in were very weird. I feel like if he just tried singing and he kept at it for like a couple more years, he maybe would have been able to release something far better. This one was, but I feel like I'm also not the target audience. I do not know who's the target audience for this song.
I am. Dude,
Okay.
I'm a Punjabi music, like,
Aficionado.
here. You know.
I also
just so
listen
that-
to Punjabi music, but not
No,
that
I
kind.
don't also. It's my priority. You see my playlist, okay?
Okay.
Now my most listened to playlist is
Read
where
out the
is it?
first. What's the first song?
this playlist called Punju Baby.
Okay.
First song is Sardari by Rajveer Jwanda.
Uh-huh.
Then Vakra Swag by Navinder.
Okay, your taste is being judged by the people.
Then
like,
Do You Know
so-
Diljit Singh? Do
I
you
love
know?
it. I love it. I love it. I love
Then
it.
Khab
I
by
actually was
Akhil.
listening to it.
Then Pendu by Amrinder Gill.
Okay.
Then Vanjali Vaja, Amrinder Gill. Then Illegal Weapon, Gary Sandhu. Outfit teri mutiyare. Then Kalla Sona Nahi Akhil.
Okay,
Jat Chaubi
listeners
Carat Da.
of this podcast who also like Punjabi music, maybe you should comment about, Abhinandan's taste. Maybe, does he have good taste? Do you think
No,
he could be
I
listening?
have a folk
Playlist as well?
Folk playlist.
So
as
this
well.
is more like pop.
This is
pop.
I have the
More tasteful.
not I won't say it's tasteful, but it's an older Punjabi.
Right.
Anyway, so now we will leave alone, and move on. But the rest of this podcast is audio only. So do keep listening. But I have an announcement to make before we finish the video bit. Do subscribe to News London, pay to keep news free. We have a lot of elections to cover this year and a general election next year. And we have a special offer this week, which was there last week as well. You can get a signed copy of The Truth Pill by Dinesh Thakur and Prashant Reddy. They were on Hafta. In fact, Atul has also interviewed them. It is a really scary book about the pharma industry and regulation. If you can convince 5 of your friends to get a monthly News Laundry subscription or gift someone an annual News Laundry subscription, you'll get that signed copy. We can only ship in India. How do you tell us that you've done that? Write to us at subscription@newslaundry.com. I repeat, subscription@newslaundry.com with the subject line Truth Pill. Okay? Please include your postal address, the contact detail and email of the person you've gifted the subscription to or the 5 people who you have convinced. We can only ship the book within India. We have only 7 copies. I hope they're not already over. But trust me, this is a book that is very valuable. And of course, I'm going to be in Michigan from the 6th to the 10th of April. And we'll probably organize a small subscriber event there because we already got some emails from some of you. So it'll be nice to meet you guys in person and I can tell you about our future plans face to face. The subscription model is something that keeps News Laundry afloat, but we need hundreds of thousands of people to completely transform the news ecosystem. So you pay for news, so it serves you. So click on the link with this video, subscribe to News Laundry and pay to keep news free और गर्व से कहो मेरे खर्च पर आज़ाद है खबरें